Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekly vlogs. I'm Amy. Oh my gosh. This is how I get woken up nowadays. What you want? You hunger? You hunger? Okay. Let's feed these babies. Yeah. Okay, let's go feed you. Auntie, come and see. New leaf just opened. Ha! You can tell the schools are back. The traffic is wild. So I couldn't do my normal, nice, aesthetic making coffee intro for this vlog because my power's out. Luckily, my mother is so wonderful and sent me this little stovey thing that I can make coffee with in my mocha pot when the power's out. So that'll be so nice, but I think that's getting here today. But apart from that, I'm just going to have a glass of orange juice and read my book on the couch. Let me show you what I'm reading. Oh, very awake. I'm so awake. So physically I'm reading The library book, The Lacuna by Barbara Kingsolver. I wanted to read this book a really long time ago. I was going to borrow it from my ex-boyfriend's mom. Well, he was my boyfriend at the time. And she asked for all her books back and then I got dumped. So yeah, so I'm reading it now from the library. It's set in Mexico. Well, I've just got to the part where he's in Washington DC, but it starts off in Mexico with our main character Harrison and his mother in the 30s. The kid is half Mexican, half American, and he basically has this little notebook and he writes down all of the things that happen, so all of the different things that are happening in the household and in like the marketplace where he works. He doesn't name her, but he always sees Frida Kahlo walking around there, and then he does some work for Diego Rivera, who's a Poos obviously, but he does work with him for a bit as well. I'm not very far in, I'm only like 90 pages in. We're basically just following this boy and the things that he gets up to. I really love Barbara Kingsolver's writing. Like, the last book I read of hers was Prodigal Summer. It wasn't really about much, but it was so good. It was like so beautifully written. So I'm excited for that. I've been struggling recently because I'm really tired when I get to bed because I've been having like terrible dreams. I think last night I had busy dreams, but they weren't bad. So that's at least one good way to start off the week. Alrighty, let's get ready for the day. One thing that I'm really grateful for also is that I have this power box thing that keeps my internet running, which means that I can work and I can also do yoga, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about on this vlog. I've been doing yoga for 10 years. I'm so proud of myself. Like, I'm not someone who is absolutely incredible at yoga. I'm not flawless. I can't do all the crazy poses and stuff like that, but it makes me feel so peaceful on the inside, and it's so good for my mental health. Like, it's absolutely wild how much yoga affects my mental health. So the fact that I've kept it up for 10 years, and like at the moment it's probably like the most consistent I've ever been. I do yoga like 3 times a week, and then I do a body weight exercise or a weights exercise 2 days a week. And it's just been a freaking wonderful ride. I absolutely love the way yoga makes me feel. I love the peace that it brings me in my mind, and I love the way it makes my body feel. Like, I can really tell when I've gone without doing my yoga for a little bit. So at the moment I'm doing yoga with Adrian's 30-day yoga challenge, the center. I'm not doing it completely in time with her because, as I said, I do like to alternate it with bodyweight exercises. But I'm just so proud of the fact that I've managed to keep up this practice for so long. Like a third of my life I've managed to keep up this practice. And if you've ever been thinking about checking out yoga, I really highly recommend it.
Hello there. This is the best I can do with an angle when it comes to my tiny kitchen. There's not a lot to work with. So I thought I would chat to you about how work is going and what I'm working on today while I make my smoothie, because I've been trying to make smoothies because it's hot and I can force myself to drink a smoothie when it's hot. And I just want to get more vegetables in because I don't eat breakfast anymore because I just can't. There's no way. No, it wouldn't work. Okay, so orange to start off with. So at the moment I have three different clients to work on today. One is Mr. Fussy Knickers. One is my regular client that I have like the most consistent work from, and the other one is a test article for a potential new client. I've got hiccups again. Why do I get hiccups on camera? I don't understand it. It drives me freaking crazy. So I've got a test article to write for a potential new client. What's nice with most of the time with writing jobs, they will like you apply, they'll decide whether they like your application or not, and then they'll ask you to write a paid test article. So you do get paid for it. This one, the actual test article is pretty cheap. Like it's not very high paying for the test article, but that I can deal with because hopefully it'll land me a client. But the thing is, I was supposed to send off all three of these articles that I've got to work on today. I was supposed to send them off on Friday, but these hiccups, fuck man. But unfortunately I had a bit of a mental health wobble that day. So that's one thing that's really good about freelance, is that I can, if I do need to, I can just be like, I just emailed all my clients, I said something urgent came up, I can't send these off, I'll send them off on Monday. Everyone said it was fine. And then I was able to just take that day as a pure mental health day, which I really needed because I was not functioning very well. That's what happens when you have bipolar. So this is one of those things. So the first article that I'm going to send off is the test article because I want to get it in nice and early. Hopefully they like it because I really definitely have space to bring on another client. So I'm really amped to bring someone new on. Just up my revenue a little bit because I think I have the capacity to. While at the same time giving myself enough space to have days like Friday where, I have disabilities. That's one of those things. You have to be able to make accommodations for your disabilities. And that is what I'm doing, which is really nice to be able to do without a hell of a lot of guilt or ridiculous amounts of explanations. That's what I always used to feel at my old job. Used to be constantly trying to justify all the reasons, that I really needed to go home when I was twitching so badly that one of my eyes was stuck closed, and I was trying to justify why I couldn't work like that, which is actually freaking ridiculous. So I'm not doing that anymore. Now when I need it, I take it, and I can because I'm freelance. So I'm actually really, really grateful for it. So instead of doing a setup day that I usually do on a Monday, setup day is going to be Tuesday, and then I'm going to do those 3 articles today, and I think I have plenty of time. And because it's Monday, I've got 2 podcasts to listen to. I've got We're Having Gay Sex with Ashley Gavin, as usual, my fave, and then I also have an episode of the Judgies to listen to, which is good. So I'm going to be working most of the day and listening to my podcast, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that is how work is going, since I haven't spoken to you since work started again. But yeah, let's see how the day goes. So I reshuffled my schedule. I looked at like my layout of articles for the week, and I realized I don't need to do 3 today. I really don't. I can write this one tomorrow because it's not expected for today. So I am done with working. I'm going to do an errand with my Huggo boy because it's just in town. It's going to pop in and out. And I am going to be, after I've listened to Renee rap, because I have to listen to Renee rap at the moment because she's amazing, and Miley Cyrus's new song because it is a freaking jam. I'm going to be listening to my audiobook, and that is Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. It is a kitchen-based romance. It's set around like a Bon Appetit style test kitchen vibe. Like the way that they film, the vibe that they're going for is very much Bon Appetit. You can tell it's inspired by them. So we're following Simone, who's like the pastry chef, and then this non-binary kitchen manager. 1 second. My petrol. But yeah, basically it's a little love story between this bisexual chef and the non-binary kitchen manager who's like masked and tall and muscly and loud and very hilarious and funny, and it's got like a lot of good things to say because it's from a non-binary author. It's got a lot of like, it treats the cis people in a certain way. Like Simone gets a little bit like, oh, this is so hard, and she's very much like, woe is me, you know, it's harder for the trans person. So I really like it, and it's been getting me back into listening to my audiobook, which is 10 out of 10 because I need to read more this month. Good morning. I seem to like doing that intro at the moment. Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday. I just wanted to talk about the lacuna because I wanted to talk about it last night, but there was load shedding, obviously. It is so hard to actually read at night when it comes to load shedding because I've got my one lamp, but it only lasts so long, and then I have to use my cell phone camera, and it's just so much more difficult. Like, it's like I have to squint to see the writing, and I keep on getting the 10 o'clock slots, and I go to bed at 10, so it's just really fucking irritating. But the lacuna, what's interesting is that we know we're getting told what's happening through this boy's diaries, but at the same time we get archivists' notes telling us like stuff that's missing and things like that. So apparently there was a diary in between the one that I read previously and this one that was burned. Obviously it's part of the story, it's not real. So we know that's like a way of telling us that something happened at school because it was when he was at school. So something, he hinted at the fact that it was like inappropriate conduct with another student or something like that. So I don't know what that means at all, which is very interesting. Now we're just going straight back. He's working for Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo as in their kitchen. He used to mix plaster, but he's also very good at mixing dough because it's a very similar process. And we're looking at a lot of different like important factors. So we're talking about at the moment when Mexico want to get rid of all of the white like oil men because they want like Mexican oil for Mexican people, which I didn't know was a thing. I didn't know Mexico had oil. So that's the thing when you read books that in different countries, like more likely I would like to read from a Latino author, but this one happens to be a white lady as far as I can remember. But it's great getting a different view of things. And I realized at the time that this is set, it's between the world wars. So at one point he goes into when he's in Washington, and there's like a camp of veterans set up, like a huge camp of veterans, because they've been promised a certain amount of money from after coming back from the war, and the government's just not giving it to them. So it's really showing like a couple of important historical events and people through the eyes of this one boy. And the imagery of the lacuna keeps on popping up. So first it was a cave at the bottom of this cliff where he used to live when he was a kid. Then they started talking about the lacuna as being the missed diary that was burned because it's like this something that's missing. So it's just like an interesting repeated imagery of the lacuna as we're going through.
But yeah, I really love her writing. It's a good old time. I pride myself in being a bit of a hairy bitch, you know? Oh dear, I think I pressed something on my screen. Oh, yeah, I'm using my laptop as my... Tired of... I just worked out, which is why I'm going to be doing some stretching while I talk to you. But, oh my god, it is so hot. January, I always forget how crazy hot January is. I am absolutely sweating, and I just did a workout, obviously, so I am going to be a bit sweaty, but like when you have to bring a towel out and dry your arms, like I was already sweating when I woke up. Even last night I was freaking drenched in sweat from, not from dreams this time, but from just being fucking boiling. I'm sorry this lighting is terrible. But like usually, right, I rock like, you can't see it on that leg, hang on, a decent amount of leg hair. You know, like I couldn't be asked to shave all the time. But oh my god, it's creating like these little sweat pockets on my legs. So you know what, I'm gonna be a shave-legged bitch for a bit. Just one thing that I refuse to shave, armpits. And it's weird because it's one of the only things that I get active comments on. I get some comments about the actual video content, but regular comments only about my armpit hair. So if you've ever wanted to leave me a comment, please, for the love of God, do it, because it would make my day to have a comment that's not about my armpits, and it's always in Spanish. Oh god, I'm trying to write. I've got this article all set up and everything like that, but I'm trying to write, but the cats are playing so sweetly. I want to see. Are you not playing now? I turn on the camera and you stop play. Oh, and you? You can see they've been playing because my rug is in a ball. You guys been playing? Dipper came to stay with me. He's not that much of a fan of other cats, and neither is Abby. And like in my mind, I was dreaming. I was like hoping that it would just be the situation of these two antisocial cats just happening to get along with each other. And that's happening. It's so cute. They run around the garden and chase each other all the time. Sometimes Abby gets a little yelly. She's a bit of a squealer, but she is much smaller than him. But yeah, generally it's just like, it's Hugo. Quiet boy. It's so heartwarming seeing them running around like that. Like, oh, look, he's cute. The size difference as well. You little baby. I'm in the car. I am going to go to Take-A-Lot because my little stove thingy has arrived. So I'm very excited. Yeah. And on the drive there, which is very short, very, very short, I'm going to start a new audiobook, which is Luster by Raven Leilani. I literally know fuck all about it. I remember it getting recommended by a bunch of people. A bunch of people are very surprised by it. It says it's dark and funny. So I'm just going in completely blind because I finished Chef's Kiss earlier and it was so damn cute. Like the way that I say that it was set up in like a Bon Appetit kind of setting. If you didn't know, Bon Appetit had these, was very, very popular on YouTube with their different YouTube series. There's videos they used to make, very casual, talking to the crew, behind the camera, all of that kind of vibe. And then I think it was Solar, one of their POC on camera talent, came out and told everyone that there were a bunch of fucking racists. Very much only focused Western food, weren't interested in any ideas about food from different places in the world that aren't full of white people. And they were paying the white on camera talent more money than the POC people, which is, POC people is redundant, than the POCs. So then basically most of Bon Appetit staff up and left. I think like three of their main people stayed behind, like the on-camera people, and they really try to overcorrect into the other direction, trying to hire like, you know, only people of color, and like focusing a lot on like African food and stuff like that. But I think like it really left a bad taste in their mouth. Like they're not doing it, they're doing it because they got found out, not because they actually care about inclusion, if you know what I mean. So they used that in this book.
for sure, because like while it's a different magazine that they're writing, that they're making content for and everything like that, there is a discrimination aspect that like sours the whole situation. And obviously it's transphobia. We're talking about a non-binary person in this aspect, so there is a bunch of transphobia in here, but I think the way they handle it and the allyship that they show and progression of people learning to become better allies and to not focus on themselves all of the time, and to educate themselves, I thought was really great. If you like a slow burn romance, this is the slowest burn romance I have ever read. But it was so good, and I really love that now I have a non-binary author that I can go to for those books that just, those books that just scratch your little cute romantic itch. There is a new one, I'll put the cover here, I can't remember what it's called, it's another chef pun, where we follow Simone's roommate, Luna, who's a trans woman. So we follow her in the next book, so I would definitely will pick it up because it was a good old time. Now let's go to Takealot, and I will try and film in there so you can see what it's like, because they have robots. Look at this! Hell yeah! Going to finish it from Takealot. I have power right now. My power just came back on, but you know what? Let's give this baby a go. Let's give it a wee try. Okay, so it comes in this nice little package. Woo! Oh, it's upside down. Okay. Okay. So this goes here, and then this goes here. Ooh. Okay. Always read the instructions, kids. Okay, now I figured it out. Ooh, burn my little fingies. Oh my god, look at that. Crazy. Okay, now let me see if my mocha pot will fit. No, damn it. Okay. Oh, okay. The plan is, with the pot, put water in the pot, put the water in the coffee. I want to see if I heat up this pot, will I be able to put my mocha pot in the pot? Does that work? Is that safe? We're gonna see. Let's see if that works. Okay. Turn that off. Everything's locked on its little thing. V-hot pot. V-hot pot. Excellent, so chuffed. And this right here is why I don't film at night, because I have had the 8 until 10 slot or the 6 until 10 slot for like a week. So I have my lamp set up, then my phone acts as a flashlight, and then I've been drawing slugs. I started drawing slugs. If you see my Instagram, I posted like a little cute little slug thing that I drew, because I found a bunch of slugs underneath an old compost bin in my garden, and I was like, I want to draw them. So now I'm doing a whole, what is that? An A4. I'm doing a whole A4 of slugs. I'm inking them in now, and then I'm going to use my water-based markers to do the slugs, and then I'm going to use watercolors to do the background. I'm quite excited how it's coming out. So
that is how I've been spending my evenings and not updating you, because it's just slugs and darkness and hiccups as always. Hi, it is Wednesday. I didn't know if I was going to pick up the camera today. I finished my work and everything for the day. I just wanted to come in and say that plan that I made with the pot and the thing in it, the mocha pot inside the pot, not a good idea. The handle started melting. I'm going to from now on boil the water in a saucepan and use that for the coffee, which is fine. I just wanted to see if the mocha pot thing would work, but it didn't. So what I wanted to say is that right now I'm doing a clean. Ugh. So every day, I don't really put it in my vlogs because, like, I'll sit on this chest. It's not that interesting. But I used to, when I lived with people, specifically when I lived with my siblings, I used to work all week, and then, or like, I was very on and off with my work at that point. I was still trying to get my career going, you know. But I would spend my weekends cleaning the whole house because no one else in the house used to clean. And it was just such a bummer, you know, because those supposed to, regardless of how busy your work week is, that's supposed to be like your off time, you know, where you don't have to think about work. And now that I have my career sort of going on a good upward trajectory, and I got a bit more cash and everything like that, and I live by myself in a manageable space. That's what I was looking for when I moved into this place, which is like over a year ago, like a year and a half almost. I just wanted a space that I can maintain easily myself. Like the garden I can manage, all the cleaning I can manage, and I can do it every day. So what I do after I've worked or in between work projects, depending on my day, I will do a big clean of one room. So this is the main room and the lounge, like where my office is and everything. So when I say big clean, I mean I take all of the furniture, I mean not the desk and the bookshelves or anything like that, but I move anything that I can move. I vacuum the whole thing and then I mop the whole thing. And I do that every week. And then I do a different room. So I did the bathroom on Monday, I did the kitchen yesterday, and I'll do our bedroom tomorrow. And that's where I keep my house clean at all times, because oh my God, the difference it makes in my mental health to have my space clean. It's absolutely amazing. And this is why I don't know if I'd ever be able to live with someone ever again, because if they left their shit out, or it got to happen again, which is like the thing that always happens to me, is that I become the maid of the people that I live with. And it's also because I'm more specific about my needs. Like, I need my space to be tidy in order for my brain to work better. But for some people, that's not a priority, which makes sense. It's totally fine. But that's why I don't think I might be able to live with someone ever again. This is way more peaceful. So yeah, I'm just going to clean and listen to the Chosen Family podcast with Elena Joy, Mac Injimi, and Ashley Gavin. It's new. I recommend it. Hi, it is Thursday morning. Oh my goodness, I've had a really weird morning. As you know, I usually start my mornings off reading my book, then I exercise, and that did not happen this morning. I had a stress dream, and there's these certain types of stress dreams that are so busy. It's like I'm run off my feet. I'm so busy. There's so many things and so many people, and like there's always some kind of like, if you do this certain thing wrong, this bad thing will happen. So that's all happening. Like there's this like nervous undercurrent throughout the whole dream while I'm doing all these different activities and all these different people need me to do all these different things. And it's like very social. So obviously, like, that's not so good for me. But like, it gets to the point where, like, at some point in my dream, I'm having to like give information or communicate in some way. And because I'm asleep, I'm so tired, and also trying to take all my fucking brain power to respond to this dream person, that I'm like, you know, like when you're really tired and you like can't really get your words out and you're mumbling and stuff like that. That's what it's like. And then I woke up this morning and I was like falling asleep while I was reading my book. So I just slept for another hour because I was like, it's useless. And I work freelance. So like I can go to sleep for another hour if I want. There's absolutely no reason for me to just like put up with it, which is really nice about freelance. But yeah, stress dreams are fucking annoying and all shit. And then in the shower, I was listening to Luster by Raven Leilani. And this is not really about the book at all. The book's good. It's following this woman who's very messy. I can't remember her name. I can't even remember the dude's name. She's like sleeping with this man, having a thing with this man who's in an open marriage, but you can tell it's very much like the wife has been convinced to do this and she's not really into it, and he's white and she's black. And yeah, there's like a lot of cultural difference in like the way that he treats her is interesting. But this is why being a pastry chef and reading books that involve baking or cooking in any way can be stressful. Because she describes in the scene where the woman goes into the oven, takes the cake out. First of all, this is in the middle of an anniversary. So first of all, the cake would probably have been catered. Secondly, if you did make the cake, you would have made it the day before. No one makes the cake while the party's going on because decorating it takes effort, you know, and time. So she pulls this hot cake out the oven, immediately pops off the spring pan, which you can't do when it's boiling hot. I mean, you will, but you'll burn the shit out of yourself and the cake might collapse. And she only talks about bringing out the cake, and then she says she brings some frosting out of the freezer and starts icing. And she does mention it's too hot to ice, but like she wouldn't even be able to handle it. Like there's no world where this woman who's having her fancy 15th anniversary cooked the cake, like baked the cake herself, and then is icing it while in her dress in the middle of the party. Like it's a fancy party. So that doesn't make any sense. And then she said she starts to stack the layers. I'm like, what layers are you talking about? She only brought out one cake. So it's like a scene that doesn't matter. But my pastry chef self is like, no, this is so wrong. Because I think it's just one of those things. Like a lot of people have had experience baking in some way. And like it doesn't matter if it's not technically perfect. But baking at home doesn't mean you know what you're talking about enough to write it in a book, you know? So yeah, I'm just going to carry on getting ready. My sweat is mixing with my moisturizer because it is so toasty warm again. But yeah, I think I'm just going to power through today. I'll see you tomorrow. I lied. I came to the beach. I always try and bring Hugo to the beach like at least once a week, but the wind has been really hectic, and sometimes I just like fucking couldn't be asked. But I'm gonna try and do it a little bit more regularly now. And I mean, how can I not love this? Look at this. Oh, so beautiful. And my boy's having a good time, my boy. Have a good time, yeah. He tried the zoomies. He's sweet. Freelancing, huh? I was just looking at my vlog. I'm editing because I've done my work for the day. I've got the hiccups again. God fucking damn it. But this vlog is looking pretty damn long. I'm going to end it now on Thursday because my plan is to go to Nuruk Beach with Hugo on Saturday. So I want to do a little, spend the day with me, going to take my boys. It's a beautiful beach, going for a little mini road trip. It's like still in Cape Town. It's just a little bit longer than I would usually drive. So yeah, I'm going to take you along for that. So I hope you enjoyed being back with the weekly vlogs. I know I did actually get someone asking me where the weekly vlogs were, which was very sweet. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And I'll take you next time.